Chelsea Football Club woke up this morning with the biggest smile on their face. The transfer window is open. You know our directors love to get busy in the transfer window because the reality is they know the fee it will take to get Todibo out of Nice and bring him to Chelsea Football Club. I will let you know. And also my theory to why we're going after Todibo. It's because a certain somebody, we're going to call him the sassy class, has been putting in disasters left, right and centre and has ruined their plans. We'll talk about it. We'll look at the sources that are linking him to Chelsea Football Club and why Chelsea are going after him. Then Newcastle United, they did it once and they have to do it twice. They got Lewis Hall from us and now they're trying to get Andrey Santos. I'm going to give you my opinions on that and why Chelsea should not allow them to get any of their hands on our centre midfielder. Let's get into it and let's start the video. Welcome to the Kavkas View, bratuchy. Those of you that have made it here for the first time, welcome to the channel. Those of you that are regulars, welcome bratuchy and happy new year to all of you. First thing we need you lot to do is hit 1,000 likes. So everybody hit that like button now because you will forget later because we're all humans, right? Our attention span just disappears. And secondly, you're going to enjoy the content because you made it this far. So subscribe and hit that bell notification. We're aiming for 50,000 subscribers and there's no time to wait to get 28,000 subscribers in 1 year. So do me a favor, do that now. But now let's start with the Todibo. Chelsea Football Club usually have a problem with scoring goals. That is something that has haunted us, especially with our forwards, for a considerable period of time. But this year we are proficient in front of goals. Like we have got Nicholas Jackson, 7 goals in the Premier League, Palmer 8, Sterling 5, Madueke and Mudryk all contributing. Broya's even got 1, and you got Nkunku on 1. All in all, Chelsea are top of the charts, right? They're scoring goals on a regular basis, they're creating chances, it looks good. The issue is, and the reason why we are lacking in the league this year is due to the fact that Chelsea Football Club are conceding goals for fun. We have conceded 31 goals and 20 games it took to do that, which is horrible because when you actually stretch that out across the whole league, we're going to concede nearly 60 goals this year. And Giza, you're not doing anything in life conceding 60 goals, right? That is not right in any shape, way or form. So the reality is what we need to do right now is understand the reason Chelsea are trying to get Todibo. But before we get into that, we're going to say how we know we're linked with Todibo. Well, stories in France and Ben Jacobs in the UK are coming out with this. Chelsea have started concrete talks. This is what's coming out in France. Chelsea started concrete talks with Todibo. Spurs have inquired about the player and Manchester United is still assessing the player. Then we got Ben Jacobs coming out with the fee. The fee is going to be £47 million, which makes sense. 24-year-old going into the allegedly the prime of his career. People are going to say, what do you mean the prime? These days, players' primes are between the 24 and 27, right? And then they start either they collapse because they played too much football from the ages 17 to 27, or they were late bloomers and then they kick on with their careers and somehow get a second wind in their 30s. I don't know how it's done, but that's what I've envisaged. So he's going to cost around about £47 million. And Nice are going to ask for that upfront in this window. There is no way they're going to waste their time because Nice, the owner, is Ratcliffe. Ratcliffe owns Manchester United. I don't understand the logic in how teams think they're going to get him if Manchester United are interested in the player. If he's good enough for Chelsea Football Club, good enough for Spurs, Man United need a centre-half on the right-hand side. Why would Man United not go in for it? Like, all in all, it makes no sense to me how other clubs think they even have a chance unless Nice don't care. And Ratcliffe is not going to be running like a multi-club system where players that are very good for his club are going to get promoted to Manchester United and they're going to be successful there purely based on the fact that he only owns 25% of the share of the club of that 75% proportion. So that's just an interesting way to look at it. What's the player like? He's athletic, he's good in the air, he's good with passing. These are all the things that I've read about him. I've not watched Nice religiously this year. I've watched 1 or 2 games and they weren't even to keep an eye out on Todibo. They were predominantly to look at Thuram. I really like Lilian Thuram's son, the midfielder. He looks very good and he's a lot better than his brother Marcus. Don't rate Marcus Thuram. I rate his brother though. The midfielder is a very good player. So that's why I've watched Lille this year. Now we need to talk why are Chelsea trying to get a centre defensive midfielder. The reason Chelsea are actively trying to get a defender is because the Sassy's not working out. And I don't want this to turn into the Sassy's horrible because the Sassy's not the reason we've conceded 31 goals in 20 games. I think that's the structure. I think even if you put Todibo in there, even if you put Virgil van Dijk in there, defense is too exposed. Yes, we might decrease the goals from 31 to 25, but boo-hoo, who cares? The reality is, on the big picture, for us to improve as a team and climb up the table, because Lord knows there's a lot of places to climb up, we need to, we must, we have to start fixing the structure in front of the defense. And by that, I mean we need to become a little bit more compact, we need to grind out a few more wins, and we need to learn how to mitigate the chances that are getting abbreviated across our goal. Like at this moment in time, it's too easy to get Petkovic busy. It's too easy to get a shot. It's too easy to isolate Gusto and Colwell on the fullbacks. We're not defending as a team. It's very easy to get past our midfield. It's because we got Caicedo on an island on his ones, and that's never going to work out. But the reality is, we've got Chelsea at this moment in time. Fofana, can't count on. Disasi hasn't hit the ground running. Chalobah, leaving. Thiago Silva, 39 years old. He looks like he's leaving the club. At this moment, we've only got Benoit Badiashile and Levi Colwell. So for me, all in all, we are going to be getting rid of 2 guaranteed. And if we can, I think, in the long term, they're going to try and move Disasi. But with Todibo, if he comes in, he's going to be an interesting one because he's essentially direct competition to Disasi, because I don't believe Fofana's going to come back anytime soon. Yes, Fofana's in the running stages of his recovery, and yes, I would love Fofana to be the Fofana that we thought we were going to acquire. But the reality is, Fofana at this moment in time is unreliable because he's had 3 major injuries since he's been at Chelsea in 24 months. And once a player's got 4 main injuries before the age of 24, guys, this player is literally on borrowed time in football. Like, that's just the reality of it. And we have to be honest and we have to be transparent. Chelsea can't wait and depend on him to come back. We need to put plans, and this is what they're doing, so I respect it. At this moment in time, do I think this deal is going to happen? No, I don't see it happening. I think the fee's too steep. I don't think it's a good utilization of resources. I also think the Sporting defender, Diamonde, is an interesting one. He plays at the centre of a back 3, so that will be nice to see how Chelsea, if Chelsea do go get him, if they like move to a back 3 or they essentially just fixate on moving him to the right hand side. He is 19, he can develop. So it's going to be interesting and we can pay attention to this as it moves. The next deal is about Andrey Santos. Andrey Santos has been mishandled and unutilized, and for me, I think it's embarrassing what has happened with his transfer loan. When he went to Nottingham Forest were very excited to integrate him into the team. Come transfer deadline day, they decided to buy 3 players for his position. And guys, let me explain to you something. If I've got someone on loan that's only with me for 6 months or 12 months and I buy 3 assets, who do you think I'm going to give the chances to? Not the person that's leaving in 12 months. Forest are not in a business of developing Chelsea talents. Forest are in a business of staying up, developing themselves, and more importantly, and I think the most important factor, developing the assets they've invested into. Because that's where the resale value is. That's where the optimization is for them. They don't care about Chelsea Football Club. So the last thing Chelsea should do now is recall the gentleman and send him to Newcastle. Ben Jacobs said Newcastle are interested in taking him on loan. Why? On what planet is this a good idea? Chelsea should not, and I mean under no circumstances, be loaning him out to Newcastle United. In that midfield, they got Miley, who they're investing into themselves. They've got Joe Linton, they've got Guimarães. That is 3 mid players that are already in front of Santos. They got Longstaff, who's one of their players, and then they've got Sandro at the end of the year that's going to return, who they are going to essentially just have Santos replace, so basically be 5th choice at this moment in time. I know I'm missing people. Willick just came into my mind. Why is Eddie Howe going to develop a player for Chelsea football? It makes no sense. They also have Lewis Hall, who they can play there in case of an emergency. So for me, this whole situation stinks. If Chelsea kept him this year, he would have played for Chelsea Football Club. Because the reality is we have been so depleted in the midfield. Romeo Lavia hasn't been fit. Ogochukwu consistently getting injured. We've got Enzo with a hernia that could potentially have operation any now and then. The only 2 players that have been consistently fit have been Conor Gallagher and Moises Caicedo. So the reality is, if you keep Santos, Santos might actually get minutes. No disrespect to Alex Matos, but he's a centre midfielder that can't get on the pitch. At least Santos could have sat on the bench and got some minutes here and there, because we know this player is capable. We've seen him at under 21 levels. We've seen him at first team levels in Vasco da Gama in Brazil. This is a good player. He just needs a platform. He's good in the air. He's dominant. He's imposing. Yes, he's not the tallest, but you know what? He's physically powerful. Good passing range on him. I'm really excited to see it. I hope he doesn't go on loan. That's just my preference. Let me know yours. Guys, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, let me know your thoughts. And yeah, peace out, I'm out, have a lovely day. Get ready for a lot of videos, man. January's here, there's gonna be a lot of news. We are gonna be breaking it down into little details. And like I said, if you wanna see the Chelsea transfer plans, video is here. If you wanna watch the review of the Luton game, the video is here. Peace out, I'm out, have a lovely day. Happy New Year to you all.